Hey, what's up guys, LOL Encyclopedia here, and in today's video we'll talk about Beyblades. Haha, just kidding. We're actually gonna do an in-depth review of the character from League of Legends, Xerath. So if you guys are interested, let's not wait any longer. Run the intro.
Subscribe.
So first of all guys, before even beginning the video, I think it's important for me to address the elephant in the room. So you guys probably have realized that I haven't posted any videos in the past 5 years. And I saw that many of you guys in the comments were worried about my well-being and my health. But don't worry guys, I'm doing fine, and I'm gonna be totally honest, I took a break from YouTube for personal reasons. So guys, with that out of the way, we can now begin the video. But first, please consider subscribing, liking this video, and sharing it with your friends. It would really help me make more content. Oh, and if you guys enjoy the bangers playing in the background, my bro's Soundcloud page is gonna be linked in the description down below. So let's start with the specs. Spec Robot, do your job.
That is really all you have to say? I have not seen you for 5 years, mate. It's been so long. I had a bug and I am now British.
You're a robot. You're not supposed to have feelings. Now say the goddamn specs before I unplug your battery.
Yes, my lord. I am sorry. Here we go again with everyone's favorite part, the specs. As of today, Xerath costs 4,800 blue essence, or 880 riot points. He is an artillery-classed mage. He has an health that varies between 596 and 2,398, mana that varies between 459 and 833, and health regeneration that varies between 5.5 and 14.85, mana regeneration that varies between 8 and 21.6, armor that varies from 22 to 101.9, attack damage that varies from 55 to 106, magic resistance that varies from 30 to 52.1, 175% critical damage, 340 of movement speed and an attack range of 525.
Fantastic. Now let's discover Xerath's special abilities. Let's start with his passive. It is called Mana Surge. This passive actually allows Xerath to restore 30 to 195 mana when using his basic attacks. As such, I think that the name Mana Surge is actually really fitting for that passive, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. Despite having a not so good cooldown of 12, this is one of the best passives of League of Legends in my opinion. Let me explain. Xerath is actually a mage, so most of his attacks are gonna cost mana. Therefore, having its basic attack generate mana is a great thing. The next ability I want to talk about is his Q, named Arcano Pulse. So in my opinion, this is one of the best looking attacks of League of Legends. Like, it's a dope big blue laser, what's not to like about it? Really badass, reminds me of the Kamehameha from the Dragon Ball. Using this ability is actually a quite sophisticated 2-step process. When you toggle it for the first time, the ability is gonna start to charge. Charging this ability is gonna cause it to increase its range. It can go from a minimum of 700 to a maximum of 1,450. But there is a catch. The longer you charge this ability for, the slower Xerath gets. As such, you should really be careful to use this ability outside of your opponent's range. But don't worry, if you get it in a bad spot, you can always cancel this ability while charging it. However, here's another catch. The longer you charge it for, the less mana you'll get refunded when cancelling it. Then, when you toggle it for the second time, the ability activates, shooting a beam of energy upon your enemies, causing magical damage. The damage inflicted by this attack ranges between 80 and 240. Next on the list is Xerath's W, named Eye of Destruction. It casts a blast of magical arcane energy, slowing down enemies and causing them magical damage in the affected area. The affected enemies are slowed by 25%, and the damage inflicted goes from 60 to 200. But here's a tip. Enemies located in the center of the radius are gonna receive an increased slowing effect and damage increased by 66.7%. As such, you should aim so that the strongest enemies are in the center of the radius. From personal experience, I would also suggest that you use this ability from long range, as it has an excellent range of 1000. Xerath being an artillery mage, this makes a lot of sense as most of his abilities are gonna be range based. Xerath's next ability I want to talk about is his he, named Shocking Orb. With this ability, Xerath fires an orb of energy that damages enemies and stuns them.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
The inflicted magical damage can go from 80 to 200, but here's a tip. The stunning effect is proportional to the range at which you use this ability. In other words, this ability is gonna stun enemies for 3/4 of a second at minimal range and 2.25 seconds at maximum range. The last ability I want to talk about is of course Xerath's ultimate R, named Rite of the Arcane. With this ability, Xerath channels it for up to 10 seconds. For this duration, Xerath has the ability to recast this ability multiple times, from 3 to 5 times, depending on the level. Each recast catapults an arcane missile that deals 200 to 300 magic damage to the target. On top of that, each recast is gonna grant Xerath the side effect in the affected area. Finally, it appears crystal clear that Xerath is indeed an artillery mage, as this ability has a tremendous range of 5000. Now let's talk about his background and history. Xerath is often referred to as the Magus Ascendant, because he is an ascended Magus of ancient Shurima. He is a being of arcane energy writhing in the broken shards of a magical sarcophagus. He was born thousands of years ago in Shurima as a nameless slave boy. Despite having the only prospect of endless servitude, Xerath vowed that he would not end up as a slave. Because of the awful working conditions slaves were in, his father unfortunately passed away crippled. Fearing that her son would suffer a similar fate, Xerath's mother convinced an esteemed tomb architect to take Xerath as his apprentice. As such, the young Xerath was tasked on a daily basis to retrieve specific texts and plans from the Great Library of Nasus. During one of his missions, Xerath became friends with the Emperor's least favorite son, named Azir. Despite slaves being forbidden names, Azir is the one that first named the boy Xerath. They were great friends for years and devoured many texts from the Great Library together. One day, all of Azir's royal brothers were assassinated. Because Xerath saved his life, Azir promised to him that one day they would be as brothers, despite Xerath being a slave. Azir being the Emperor's least favorite son, Xerath knew that Azir wouldn't be safe if the Emperor had other children. As such, he convinced Azir to learn how to fight. For years, Azir trained to become an incredible fighter, while Xerath increased his knowledge. With his increasingly powerful nascent magical abilities, Xerath eventually killed the Emperor and his wife, using arcane energy. As such, Zahir became the Emperor, with Xerath by his side. Unfortunately, during his years of reign, Azir never fulfilled the promises he made to Xerath, as slavery was still a thing in the Empire. As such, Xerath was filled with anger and had enough of his former friend, now Emperor. Xerath wanted to steal the power of Ascension, but knew that as a slave he could never step upon the Sun Disk. Because of this, he instead convinced Azir to undertake the Ascension ritual. In the final moments just before the ritual, Azir shocked Xerath as he freed all the slaves of the Empire. He then named Xerath his eternal brother. But it was too late. Xerath blasted his ear from his place on the dais, burning him with his arcane energy and taking his place on the disc. The light of the sun filled him, reshaping his flesh into that of an ascended being. As a consequence of that betrayal, the unbound power of the sun completely destroyed Shurima. Xerath's mortal flesh was consumed and remade as a glowing vortex of arcane power. Fortunately, Xerath was locked with Renekton inside the Tomb of Emperors by Nasus, preventing him from causing more chaos for centuries and centuries, until the Tomb of Emperors was finally discovered and broken open by Severe and Cassiopeia.
Driven insane with power, he now seeks to take what he believes is rightfully his and replace the upstart civilization of the world with one fashioned in his image.
So, I wanted to know, what is your favorite skin on Xerath?
Hey, what's up dude? Thank you for asking. I would say that currently my favorite Xerath skin has to be the Battlecast skin. Usually skins don't change the color of a Xerath's arcane energy. Usually it's gonna be blue energy, but here it's red, so that's super original and dope compared to the other skins. And it's one of those dope skins where the skin changes the appearances of the abilities. So every time you use an ability, it's gonna appear in red energy instead of blue energy. Super dope, super original, really sets you apart in my opinion.
Hey, I was wondering, what do you think the meaning of life is?
Really interesting question, thank you for asking. This is far from a League of Legends related question, but I'll try answering it. First of all, man, if you're not feeling great right now, not feeling good, you have mental health issues, go talk to professionals, seek help. I'm not enough and I'm not qualified to help you. We live in a world where masculinity is glorified and men do not talk about their feelings, but this is, in my opinion, very wrong and stupid, so please get some help. But to answer your question, I would say that for me, life is all about the grind, so find something constructive, a constructive passion that you like, that feels good, that is healthy for you. Perhaps traveling, doing scrapbooking, starting a business, meeting with new people, whatever. But for me, I would say that it's all about making more content and better quality content.
Yeah, I had a question. Is this character in the TV show Arcane?
Oh man, that's a great question. In my opinion, while he's not in the current seasons of Arcane, I think Xerath definitely is gonna be in the next season perhaps. Riot uses Arcane as a cash cow, so Xerath being so popular in the game, for sure he's gonna be in the next season if they want to get more views. So guys, that's it for today's video. Please don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to my Instagram, go check out my boy's Soundcloud page. You guys mean the world to me. I wish you the very best for the new year. Thank you a lot for watching. Your boy, LOL Encyclopedia, signing out. See you in the next one, guys.